Most people spend hundreds of dollars every month on supplements, protein powders, and health programs designed by people who have never once looked at the oldest nutritional record ever written, the Bible. Not as a spiritual document, as a dietary one. Because here is what nobody is telling you. The foods Jesus ate every single day of his life, the meals he shared with fishermen, the ingredients he blessed and broke and passed around tables in first-century Galilee. Researchers are now isolating those exact foods in clinical trials and finding results they are struggling to explain. Not interesting results. Not promising results. Results that are making cardiologists, oncologists, and gut health specialists stop and ask how people 2,000 years ago, without a single laboratory, managed to build a daily diet that targets inflammation, protects the heart, feeds the gut microbiome, and extends healthy function at the cellular level better than most modern protocols can replicate today. Stay with us, because number 4 on this list is the one food Jesus consumed so consistently that historians consider it inseparable from his daily life. And when researchers recently analyzed its core compound in isolation, they found it suppresses inflammation through the exact same biological pathway as ibuprofen without a single side effect. And number 1. The final food on this list appears in every gospel account of Jesus sharing a meal. Every single one. Nutritional scientists who analyzed it last year called the findings almost impossible to attribute to coincidence. This is what Jesus ate every day, and this is what modern medicine is only now beginning to understand about it. Number 5. Barley bread. The daily bread that was actually rebuilding his body. When Jesus fed 5,000 people in the Gospel of John, the loaves were not made from wheat. They were made from barley. This is a detail most people read past without stopping. But it matters enormously. Barley was the grain of ordinary people. Farmers, laborers, fishermen, and carpenters. It was cheap, it was available, and it was eaten every single day by the people Jesus lived and worked among. And it turns out that daily repetition was the entire secret. Barley contains the highest concentration of beta-glucan fiber found in any grain on Earth. This compound is so well documented for lowering cholesterol and stabilizing blood sugar that food regulatory authorities in multiple countries now permit manufacturers to print certified heart health claims on any product that contains sufficient quantities of it. It forms a slow-moving gel inside the digestive tract that feeds beneficial gut bacteria, reduces glucose absorption after meals, and pulls LDL cholesterol out of circulation more effectively than almost any other food you can eat. But Jesus did not eat barley alone. He ate it drenched in olive oil. Every time. Because that was simply how bread was made and consumed in first-century Galilee. And that combination changes everything. Extra virgin olive oil contains a natural compound called oleocanthal. Most people have never heard of it. And this is the part that stops researchers in their tracks. Oleocanthal behaves almost identically to ibuprofen inside the human body. Same anti-inflammatory pathway, same reduction in inflammation. Signaling proteins, no side effects, no stomach lining damage, no dependency. Just a steady daily lowering of the chronic background inflammation that modern medicine now recognizes as the root driver of heart disease, diabetes, cognitive decline, and certain cancers. Jesus did not know the name oleocanthal. He did not need to. He simply ate the bread his community had been eating for centuries, and his body received the benefit of it every single day of his adult life. That is not coincidence. That is accumulated generational wisdom, embedded into the most ordinary meal of his day. Number 4. Figs. The food Isaiah used to save a king. Here is a moment buried in Scripture that most people walk directly past. 2 Kings chapter 20. King Hezekiah is dying. The infection is severe, described as a boil, most likely a deep abscess or systemic bacterial infection spreading through tissue. The prophet Isaiah does not only pray. He orders a paste of figs pressed directly onto the wound. The king recovers completely. Modern biochemistry eventually caught up to that prescription. Figs contain phycin, a proteolytic enzyme that breaks down damaged tissue, accelerates wound healing, and clears the biological debris that allows infection to persist. Fresh fig latex has demonstrated measurable inhibitory effects against bacterial growth in controlled laboratory studies. Isaiah's remedy was not folk medicine. It was applied biochemistry, practiced without the language to describe it. But Jesus did not apply figs to wounds. He ate them. Constantly. Because fig trees lined every road, every hillside, and every courtyard in first-century Judea. They were not a delicacy. They were daily nutrition. And eaten as food, figs become something different entirely. They are among the most mineral-dense fruits in existence, rich in pectin fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria, high in magnesium for nerve and muscle function, potassium for blood pressure regulation, calcium for bone density, B vitamins in concentrations that made them a functional daily supplement in a world that had never invented the supplement. In a culture without refrigeration, without processed food, without any form of modern preservation, the fig was a portable, stable, complete nutritional package. Jesus reached for them because they were there, because they had always been there, and because every person who had eaten them faithfully across generations understood without clinical confirmation exactly how they made the body feel. 10 foods. 1 man. A daily diet that researchers across cardiology, oncology, gut health, and metabolic science keep arriving at from completely different directions. The people who ate this way were not primitive. They were not guessing. They were paying extraordinarily close attention to their bodies and to what worked across generations in ways that no laboratory study can fully replicate, because no laboratory study runs for 2,000 years. The difference between what Jesus actually ate and what lines the average supermarket shelf today is not a small difference. It is not a matter of preference or tradition. It is the difference between food that heals and food that slowly does the opposite. If you are ready to start, pick one item from this list and put it on your table this week. Just one. Drop it in the comments below. Tell me which one you are starting with and why. If this video gave you something worth keeping, hit the like button and subscribe. Because what we are covering next makes everything in this video look like the introduction.